Hey, this is Ben from Ready.Set.Van. We're here by the lake in New Jersey on an absolutely beautiful, crisp fall morning. This spot I've known about for years, and I've been dying to bring a van here, but I've just never had the perfect van for the job. And right behind me is the perfect van for the job. This is a Sprinter 144 with suspension. It's on 34-inch tires. It's got our Basecamper build in it. So yeah, we are going to play with this. We're going to test it. We're going to try all kinds of things, and I'll take you with me. It's going to be a blast. All right, let's go. Okay, so right away, I have to say, I've been driving around this 144 for, I don't know, maybe an hour now, back in here, just kind of figuring this whole place out. And I have to say right away, the 144 is just remarkably more nimble. I really love the 170. It's freaking fantastic, but I haven't brought it back in here because some of the spots back in here are kind of tight. They're a little hairy, and I'll show you some stuff on that later where we kind of go through some particularly tight spots. But in general, I just love this. It's like, it's pretty fantastic, and there's an aspect of this that it's hard to put into words. Sorry, I gotta do a little K-turn here, but it's a little hard to put into words what the feeling is. I think, honestly, don't hit the tree. Honestly, I think it's like, it just feels more freeing. I think that's the best way to put it. Like, I feel, like I can go more places. I feel less encumbered. It's fun. I'm not really like an off-road guy. I mean, this is fun, but like, I'm not like a Jeep guy. Like, my thing isn't where like I just like climbing over rocks. But what I do like is the fact that this is gonna, this can take me places that, I wouldn't otherwise go. And like, it reminds me a little bit of, well, so, this is our Basecamper build, and our first Basecamper build was built on a ProMaster, and it's a fantastic van. I recommend it to like lots and lots of people. And the idea was like, yeah, you go to you park at a trailhead, or you park maybe down the end of a dirt road or something, and that's a perfect launching point for whatever activities you're gonna do. And that's kind of why we called it the Basecamper. And this kind of reminds me of some stories my wife told me about a trip she took before we started dating, when she went to Mount Everest Base Camp. And Mount Everest Base Camp, it takes like 2 weeks to get there, and you have to stop multiple times to like acclimatize, if that's the right word. And I don't know, this feels like, it's like the Basecamper van that we've like known and loved for so many years, but now like at that sort of like Mount Everest level. I don't know if that makes sense. It just feels really, really capable. I could set up camp much further into the woods or up the mountain or something like that. And yeah, I don't know, I really like that. Okay, so this is actually a perfect example of something I wouldn't do in the 170, probably. And that's try and pass between these two trees that are off angle to the trail. So if you look at the trail here, it's about 7.5 feet wide. That's about how wide the van is, so that's tight. Between the trees here at this angle, I would say about 9 or 9.5 feet. So there's plenty of room there for us to get through. But what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to square up to the trees, try and come through the trees this way to be able to clear them, so I have the maximum, the maximum space on either side. But the thing about this that would be really difficult in the 170 is, number one, having enough room to kind of swing out and square up to this kind of gate here. But then the other issue is this tree right over here. So as I come through these trees, basically as soon as my rear tire clears, my inside rear tire clears this tree over here, and my ladder clears that tree, then I want to cut back around and swing back around. And so I'm guessing the front of the 144 is going to be about here, which is a couple feet from this tree. The 170 is a couple of feet longer. So if I were going to do this with the 170, I wouldn't be able to start turning the wheel till my bumper was almost up against this tree. So I think I could probably do it in a 170, but it'd be a little sketch. And if I had to undo it, I'd have to go backwards through all of everything that I came through. That might not be that much fun. So yeah, let's give this a shot. All right, so that worked out pretty well. I have to say, my front bumper actually got a lot closer to that tree than I was expecting. And I think doing that in a 170 actually would have been pretty challenging and maybe not possible, I'm not sure, but I thought it worked out pretty well. So anyway, moving on. So I have a spot down on the beach where I want to do our tour. It's really beautiful. On our way there, I have to do a kind of a pretty off-camber section, which honestly, I don't love. We're gonna do that, we're gonna hit some deep sand, and then we'll do a full tour. So let's go do that next. All right, so I've already had so much fun today. This has been an absolute blast. Driving this thing all back around in the trails here was just so much fun. I got to do a whole bunch of things that I've never really done before in a van. That's one of the things that's really great about the 144, of course, is that it's just much more capable. So it's difficult for me because I'm actually thinking of building a van in the next year, and whether I build a 170 or a 144 is sort of like goes back and forth in my head. And of course now today, after driving this, it's pretty exciting being able to go different places that you wouldn't necessarily think about going, and there's less anxiety about your options of where you can go. It's just more freeing. So yeah, this is an absolutely gorgeous spot. I absolutely love it. There is one thing though, I gotta say this right now. It turns out, much to my surprise, comes with some sporadic gunfire. It turns out right across the river from here is the New Jersey State Rifle Range. So there's a good chance somewhere during this video, there's probably gonna be a whole bunch of gunfire. We're just gonna pretend like it's not there. We're just gonna play through. I had no idea. So anyway, okay, this kind of star of the show here with this particular van is this really nice suspension and wheel and tire setup that we did through Agile. I'm gonna go into more depth in another time about the Agile suspension system, but it's their RIP kit. It's a beautiful setup. You know, you get a lift, you get extra travel. It's pretty fantastic. You can kind of look probably the video after this. I'll go into detail on all of that and show you with the wheels off and kind of, you know, give you a kind of whole tour of the suspension, but it's pretty fantastic. Because we get more ride height out of that, we're able to fit some bigger tires on here. In fact, these are the biggest tires we've ever fit. So these are 34s, which is sweet. They look fantastic and they perform really well. So this is a set of Toyo tires. They're, what are they? They're open country ATs, and these are 285, 75, 17s. That makes basically a 34-inch diameter on the Agile Overlander wheel, which I'm a big fan of this wheel. It comes with the apex valves, which have rapid deflate. So I didn't deflate these today, but we could knock these down to like 10 or 15 PSI in like 10 or 15 seconds, which is awesome. Of course, if you're gonna do that, you wanna be able to air them back up again. So he's got an air compressor under the hood with ports on the front and back. So he's really nicely set up for any kind of soft, low traction situation where he's gonna wanna air down. So I know he has all kinds of great plans for this van. He does a lot of mountain biking, does a lot of skiing, goes into the mountains quite a lot. He lives in Southern California, so I have no doubt that this van is gonna go and do some awesome things and have some great experiences. So that makes me, of course, very happy. Up front, we've got a set of LP9s that are on a bracket mounted through the grill. It's a nice tidy setup. If you're not running a bumper, it's still a great way to get some LP9s in the front. LP9s are by far the best light to have on the front because they just put out tons of light. These are LP9 Pros, of course. We have a light bar up top, and then also we've got some more Baja lights around the rack on the sides. And on the back here, we got a bunch of OWL products as well. So we've got the OWL tire and ladder combo right here. We got a B2 rack with a box and a set of one-up trays. And you know, one thing I'll say about the whole box on the back door thing that I was just thinking a lot about today, it's just a lot of weight. And so today, you know, all my camera gear has been in the back of this van. And so as I was shooting stuff and we were driving around earlier, I was going in and out of the back door, I don't know, 50 times or something. And this thing isn't even full of stuff. And every time I'm slamming it and opening it, and it just feels like it's kind of a lot. And so I would encourage anybody to kind of think about that when they're deciding to do this. It's a lot of utility. It's awesome, but it is also, I don't know, there are pros and cons. So anyway, that's just something I was thinking about today as I was driving around. Of course, down around the side here, we've got a set of SCA flares. These are insulated flares. These are really our favorite at this point. If we're not running windows, that's kind of an important caveat there. If we're not running windows in the flare, these SCA ones are our favorite. They are insulated and they seem to be well made. So of course we have a ladder up to the roof. On the roof he's got 175 watts of solar. He's got his Starlink up there. What else has he got? His air conditioning, his Max fan, of course. And then he's got some Max Track Extremes up there mounted on the roof, which honestly I can't imagine he would ever need those, but maybe he'll use them to help somebody else out. All right, let's go around and check out the build. So it's really fun for us to, you know, build a van that's like so incredibly like awesome and frankly badass as this van, and then to put such a beautiful build on the inside. Of course, that's the thing that we really sort of pride ourselves on. And we got a Basecamper build in here, and so I'll kind of walk you through that. So a couple things on the outside here. We have this fold-up table right here. This is the same kind of acrylic hardwood composite table that we put in our Hudson models and our Highline models. I just love it. And the acrylic lasts, will last basically forever, and it'll stand up to a lot of abuse, and I really like it. This is what we call our passenger bench seat. And I want to show you something here real quick. So we did this as an extending bench. So this extends out on heavy duty drawer slides, and we have a leaf that goes right in here with a cushion. So that then you can lie down across here. And then this is set up so that actually you can scoot the passenger seat so it lines up on the end here, so you can easily get 6 or 7 feet of room to stretch out. And of course, it's not going to be as comfortable as your main bed, but it'll make a great guest bed, a bed for kids. I have one in my van. I've slept in it a few times, and it's fine. So really nice feature to just have an extra bed as a possibility. So yeah, let's head inside. All right, so welcome inside the home. I absolutely love these Basecamper interiors because they really do feel like a home. They just feel like this beautiful little apartment. Oh. Yeah, they reloaded over there. I'll tell you something, it has been an absolutely gorgeous day today to be outside. What a great day. And even sitting here, I've been sitting here for a few minutes because I'm getting a little tired. And I'm sitting here just really enjoying this. And then there's sporadic gunfire. And even with the sporadic gunfire, it's really nice. But I could do with a little less gunfire while I'm trying to speak. Okay, we're gonna play through, remember? Here we go. I absolutely love the interior of the Basecamper, and I just love the home vibe in here. And this kind of situation where you're just parked up in a spot, and you've had a nice day, and you're just chilling out in your just beautiful little home that you can take wherever you want. It's just the freaking dream. It's just the thing I love the most. This particular seat here in the Basecamper is just a dream because you just sit here. You can be right next to the window. I mean, I look at the lake over there. I can see the gun range, and it's just so comfy. I think I'm just gonna sit here for a while. In fact, I think I'm gonna do the whole interior tour from here. So how about that? So let's see. Let's go around here. So, all right. In the kitchen, this client decided to go with a walnut interior, and they decided to do a portable induction cooktop instead of one set into the kitchen. And I would have to say, especially for the Basecamper, but really almost for any van at this point, I actually think the portable is the better solution, just because then you have the best of both worlds. You can bring the cooktop out when you need it. You can also put it wherever you want when you need it. But then also, you also have all of the countertop space. And I find I use my counter more than I use the cooktop. But these walnut countertops are just absolutely gorgeous. I've talked about them forever. Of course, we've got our sink here. We've got a galley window over there. That galley window's got blackout shades and a bug screen. It awnings out so you can have it open in the rain. It's really nice for cross ventilation. And we got a Sonos mounted up over there for him. Up top, we've got a microwave in the overhead. And then of course we have our whole bank of overheads that goes the whole way down, which are just awesome storage the whole way, the whole way down. We got a stainless steel fridge, an 80-liter fridge. It's an awesome fridge. We've loved this fridge forever. We got 2 drawers, and we also have this big pantry right here as well, which is awesome. We got storage under the sink here, and then we have this other seat right here. And the nice thing about that seat is that we have this little pop-out table right here, and this little pop-out table is such a gem. It's made of walnut, and it just kind of makes the whole thing. And there's subtle little things about it that you wouldn't necessarily think of, but we did, I guess. Number one is these slides are completely concealed on the inside. So the table all the way around is wood all the way around. You don't see the slides that make this thing work. They're all kind of underneath, which is nice. Sometimes you'll see a pop-up table that's like this, and the slides are on the outside. And what'll end up happening is, number one, you're going to see those slides and they're just kind of a little bit ugly, but also those slides are covered in grease to make the ball bearings, run smoothly, and you're going to get that on your shirt, which is going to be annoying. Kind of like the gunfire. Stop it. We're playing through. Anyway, and then the other nice thing about this is when we extend it all the way, it's actually held in place with magnets here. So it's really quite solid. And when you want to bring it in, you just pop it like that, and you push it in. It goes like that. But I'm going to keep this out because that's pretty nice. What else we got? We got pass-through storage under here into the garage area. We can also do a center cabinet there with drawers that kind of come out in this direction. Underneath me here, we have a toilet. I think he's got a Thetford toilet on board, but we can put pretty much any toilet in a Basecamper. In here, he's got more storage under here. Of course, we've got a full-size bed back here, which extends into those layers that you saw on the outside that we talked about earlier. And of course, on the headboards of the bed is a soft headboard fabric, which is really nice. We put a headliner foam behind it, so it's very soft to touch. And of course, something else you can't see here is that, you know, we got the passenger seat spun around, so this van is really great for 3 people, especially with this extension bed here. And we got like nice seating for 3 people here. You can also spin the driver's seat around. It doesn't quite go all the way around. You know, it's kind of a little encroached by the end of the kitchen here. So sitting here talking to somebody in the passenger seat is a treat, or having dinner with somebody sitting this way is also great. And just sitting here is wonderful. I could have stuff here. I could have a laptop here. I could be reading a book, with the exception of maybe eliminating the excessive gunfire. What could be better? All right, let's go swing around the back and I'll show you the garage. All right, and here we are at the back of the van. You'll see on both doors we put Molle panels on the lower section of the door here. Those are super convenient for like a fire extinguisher or like any like small bags or anything you want to mount to the door. It's really easy. It's a nice system. Our electrical system is the same system that we put in all of our vans. So it's a 3,000 watt inverter. It's all Victron components. He, I think, opted to go with the smallest, or basically our entry level battery pack, which is a 400 amp hour battery pack. And honestly, that's going to work great for him because he lives in Southern California. He's going to be using this mostly up in the mountains, so he's basically never going to be using his air conditioner. And it's really the air conditioner that is the reason to go to a bigger battery bank. So he's going to be great with that. And this thing is bulletproof. It's going to, you know, he's not going to have to think about it all. And that's, you know, that's really the goal. On this side, we've got, I think, a 42 gallon freshwater tank, a 4 gallon hot water heater. That's all hooked up, of course, to the kitchen up front, but then also to the outdoor shower here. We do an outdoor shower on every single one of the vans we build because it's just really handy. Even if you have a shower indoors, it's nice to have one outside so you can just rinse yourself off, wash off your dogs, whatever, your bike, you know, you name it. Yeah, and then the garage here, it has just a ton of storage in it. We put some L-track down the side, so it's easy to like lash some stuff down and secure things. And otherwise, it's just a huge amount of storage, which is awesome because you're gonna wanna take this thing, or he's gonna take this thing up in the mountains, put all of his toys in here. He's gonna put his bikes on the back, and you know, he's just gonna have an awesome time. So yeah, let's go around the front and wrap this up. So thanks for being here and coming along with me today on this whole trip. This is actually one of the more fun times to, yeah, this was a lot of fun. Even the gunfire was sort of fun, but this was really a lot of fun. It was just nice to get out and spend the whole day outside, and it's fun to really take this thing and like put it to its limits. My God, it's like there's just more of them. Thank you very much for being here. It's been an awesome day, and I hope you're having a great day as well. Peace.